So, all right. So, hey, everybody. This is my very first live stream ever. So, yes, I wanted to come on really quick and just talk about a few things. Maybe it's better for me to put the cameras next to each other. Hey, y'all. Okay, so let me change one more thing. I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to change shirts. The other shirt was not very appealing. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on really quickly and talk about a few things. If you saw the name of the video, I'm talking about consumer behavior, purchasing pattern, and things of that nature. So some of you guys know I'm a supply chain consultant. I'm certified. And so in 2016, I began consulting. I launched a consulting company, a few by different names or whatever, but still me or in groups with other people. But I've been consulting since 2016, all supply chain related, and mainly dealing with Chinese-based operations, whether that's usually sourcing or manufacturing. So those are the types of contracts that I would usually get. Like, hey, we're looking for this amount of this good. Can you find it? Or we're looking to make this prototype, or we're looking to make this product. Can you get it made, or can you get it done? How much would it cost? Who can do it? Who should get the contract? Is this some short term, long term, all those things? So I've been doing it for a while. I enjoy it, and it's never boring. So I still also have a job as well, because when I consult, usually it's projects. Sometimes it's longer projects. Like the longest contract I've ever had was about a year. I usually do months or years, depending on what I'm working on. But I've never had like a multi-year contract. So, in between time, sometimes I'll have very short term work, or juggle projects outside of whatever I'm working on. But currently I actually have a job again, so that's nice. I enjoy what I do, but I've gotten to the point now where I have quite a bit of time to actually work on my own things as well. So this brings me to my next point. So I have a few things I want to talk about: investment ideas. I'm also going to talk about consumer behavior and how I'm looking to put these two things together. So when it comes to group economics, right? Everyone is always talking about this, but no one ever really comes with strategy and logic of how we should do something and why. So that brings me to Containers 2020. I don't know if you guys have searched the hashtag on Instagram, or if you guys follow me on Instagram, but if you do it, people on Instagram, I have a cell phone here. For the people on YouTube, I have a cell phone where I'm streaming on Instagram. And so people who follow me on Instagram, they have seen flyers and things about Containers 2020, but I don't think YouTube has. So what is Containers 2020? Containers 2020 is an initiative that I came up with to try to encourage African Americans and diasporans living in the United States to begin to import our own goods. So, if we want to buy coffee, which I mean, this is already sort of being done, but let's say we want to buy coffee or we want to invest in starting a black coffee brand. We can get that done, and we can make sure that even the transportation aspect of it is, controlled by us, and move those things. So I'm looking at Containers 2020 to sort of get people's feet wet and get people unafraid to import or export goods, right? So we're trying to see how many containers can we bring in 2020 of all different types of things. I'm just using coffee as an example, but I mean, fabrics or food items. The United States exports a lot of food. Where can we get in on this and, have these customers and these clients who are looking for these products that we can then supply them with? But even further, I'll tell you a few things that I'm concretely working on. And if you guys are interested in investing, please let me know. You can write me on Instagram at Titanium Supply Chain Solutions or on YouTube at Wise Linguist. And for the people on Facebook who will also see this, they're at themysteryschool.us. So if you're on Instagram or YouTube, you can follow me on Facebook at themysteryschool.us. I know, 3 different platforms, 3 different names. We'll see. I mean, I may change it some kind of way, or put them all under one name. I mean, of course, if I could go back, I would, but whatever. We'll see how this works. I'm just trying something new. And excuse me once again for looking at back and forth at both cameras. I know y'all like, what is he looking at? I'll figure this out one day, people. Be patient with me. So some concrete investment ideas that I'm personally working on. And these are going to be products that I'm bringing forth to people as well as opportunities to invest. So I have a home goods category that I'm currently working on. I have a beauty category that I'm working on. I've done beauty before and I work in beauty currently. And I'm interested in agriculture. So agriculture got on my list because I gave a keynote speech in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Nairobi. And while I was there, I had people to tell me what they were interested in as far as investing, or if they weren't interested in investing, I wanted to know who had a business there and they were looking for investors. And a large percentage of the people who submitted information, they did some type of agribusiness. And so I was really interested because I was like, I didn't really think about that. But apparently there are a lot of people who are in agribusiness in Nairobi or in Kenya in general, but in Nairobi, and they export food products to the Middle East. And so I said, okay, that makes sense. So, I don't know the volume and how much they were actually purchasing and moving, but it seemed interesting, right? So I'm also interested in agribusiness or agriculture in general, but that would be something that's a bit new for me. But once again, I think it's with the potential food shortages coming and all that kind of stuff, seems like it's just something we probably should have under our belt. Even if we're not planting and growing, we could still work in that business some kind of way, even if it's on like the service provider side. Can you get those contracts to transport this food from, wherever its origin is, to its destination? Those are opportunities for us to make money. So yeah. So let's talk about the home goods. I don't know if you guys on Instagram, you can't see it, but if you see that artwork back there, and you guys on YouTube, you can see it a bit. Let me turn the screen so you can see that artwork there. That is actually a prototype that I'm working on, and I'll be bringing that to market shortly. I know it's already going to be. Okay, to make a long story short, when economies aren't great, people don't really buy art, right? So the price points that I'll need to sell those at to, of course, make it feasible, but also, make it fun and competitive. I don't know if people will buy them, but I think they will. I've gotten from the market research I've done, I've gotten quite a lot of great feedback about the design, and so I think it's okay to move forward. I'm just a little apprehensive, but I think it'll be fine. I'm sorry, y'all. The two cameras are freaking me out a bit. So yeah. So now the beauty aspect. Currently, I work in cosmetics. So I work for a cosmetic manufacturer. We make cosmetics, not makeup, but cosmetics such as soap. Well, not soap, but lotion, shampoo, conditioner. I mean, soap is soap. It's not necessarily a cosmetic, but you get the point. We sell like soaps and lotions and shampoos and conditioners and all that kind of stuff, and we make them as well. And it's not my business; I don't own it, but I manage their supply chain and or a part of their supply chain. So that's fun. It's nice being back in beauty. When I first got into business, I actually, like a lot of entrepreneurs of today, I started out selling human hair, and so selling hair, on tracks or wefted hair, or selling wigs, all that kind of stuff. I got into that, and I had a business partner at the time. We did okay. We were young, but we made a little bit of money. We made a little bit, but it was nice to be in the business, in that type of business. And I was like, okay, it's something that people are going to buy regardless, right? Everyone wants to be beautiful. People spend money on those types of things. So it's pretty stable. It's pretty stable. You just have to make sure you have great salespeople. But anyway, the beauty investments that you guys can do, we can put together categories within that category, right? So within beauty, you have shampoos, you have makeup, you have conditioners, you have all types of things, beauty accessories, face massagers. Those are really popular right now. Facial masks, all that stuff is considered beauty, right? So that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity. And I also want us to think about, where can we sell these items? So we know that we can sell them in the United States, right? But we can also sell them in Africa. East Africa in particular is where I'm focusing right now. We can also sell them to, Central and South America. All of these places are extremely valuable where we are located in the United States, right? It's valuable for us to get items there, as opposed to only thinking about, okay, I need to sell this in Europe, or I need to sell this in Asia. We can open that aspect of business, and increase, that relationship. So I think that would be great. What's the next category? So we talked about agriculture already. Well, we didn't talk about it as it pertains to the investments I'm looking for. So I'm going to be honest. I want a farm. I would love a farm. I would love a farm. Ideally, I would like a farm. I would like a few farms, because I do want property in like various countries, maybe three different countries, and I would like a farm in each one of those countries, right? But from a business aspect, I think there are a lot of things that we see that we like, that we can implement, particularly in Africa or in the southern United States. So, for example, I was thinking, is there anywhere in West Africa where, and excuse me, I don't know if I said East Africa or West Africa earlier, but I meant West Africa. Is there anywhere in West Africa currently where it's conducive to grow grapes? Can we have wineries, or what kinds of wines can we make? Or another idea that I have that goes back to agribusiness is palm wine. With this whole consumer behavior, is this something that we can consciously begin to purchase to funnel our funds in a different direction, right? So should I be drinking palm wine versus drinking beer, or whatever liquor that I'm drinking, because that supports the type of business that I'm trying to do, etc. So that brings me to my next point, which is consumer behavior. See, that's what I mean when I say we can create categories or have a strategy based on consumer behavior and bring products to people, especially Black people who want to group purchase, right? So that's a great example of palm wine. So if we began to drink palm wine, we can also create stronger relationships with those palm wine manufacturers. And everywhere you go, there's palm wine. Soul food restaurants will have palm wine. Um, that's my bird. That's people out. Soul food restaurants will have palm wine. Regular restaurants will have palm wine, because as a community, we can also begin to share that with the general American population. Like, I'm not Hispanic, but I like coquito, right? If you ever had it and you like it, that's something you probably would like in the future, right? Like if someone was selling coquito, I would buy coquito. And it's not a part of my cultural heritage in that way, right? So palm wine could be the same way. Or I always think about that video. Did you see the video with the white lady and she was like, Black people, you have been hiding a secret from us. You didn't tell us about the butters. And she meant like shea butter and, cocoa butter, all of that stuff. So it was just so funny. So that's another thing. I'm talking about surface level things. Okay, so shea butter, for example. I think shea butter, everyone knows about shea butter already, but that's another great example of doing great business. Now, we can go deeper and find more complex items or items that, why you want to come out? Maybe he did. So, what was I saying? Going even deeper, we can find products that are not here that people would like, and we can bring those products to the United States, or we can export those products, from West Africa to the U.S. or to South America, Central America, whatever. Um, let's see what else is on the list. And finally, I also have an opportunity in modular homes. So if anyone is interested in getting into that business, let me know. So when I say modular homes, I'm actually meaning like modular built homes, and you can also think of them as prefabricated homes, but I don't want you to think of prefabricated as in like 10 years ago or what you generally see. We're talking legit, amazing, modern houses that are just superb quality. And the level of customization that can be added is pretty great in context. Like, I mean, it's prefab, right? It's already been designed. So some things can't be changed, but things like the interior and, roofing or ceiling, I'll say that ceiling options can be changed. Because I know for me, when I was doing this type of research, I'm saying, okay, well, what do I like? What don't I like? And, what is this? I saw that some units would, look spectacular on the outside. But then when you would go inside, you look at the ceiling and it was just like this, the same material that aluminum or what is it called? Some type of steel. I can't remember the name, but it's a steel. You just see this steel painted, and I'm like, I don't want that type of ceiling. Like, how could this be changed or made better? Even if it's functionally okay, right? I want it to be aesthetically nice as well. But later I saw that you can get the option of what I was looking for, like regular painted ceilings that aren't metal. That can be done as well. So yeah, and with consumer behavior and investing, I also want to just get back to how can we do this? So let's take that commodity, for example. Let's take palm wine. Or no, let's do shea butter. But this works for any commodity, really. So you need to begin to find groups, and that's what I'm working on now. So I'm coming to you guys saying, hey, I have access to these opportunities, and I also have the knowledge to actually deal in the operational part of it. I can do that. That's what I do as a supply chain manager. Um, so so we can create groups. So let's say we're looking at this shea butter. We need distribution groups. We need sales groups. We potentially need finance groups. Now, how can this be cut? Many different ways. By distribution groups, or let's start with sales groups. Okay, so we need people who will say, "Hey, I'll tote this product for you, right? I'll push this product for you. This is what I want in exchange for it, or you give it to me and I'll sell it at this price and I'll keep this amount, right?" Um, but even then, the distribution aspect. Now, we can have people set up in between that phase and say, hey, these are distributors we're selling to. You guys figure out the sales aspect. Or we can look at distribution as in the logistics part of it. Like, are we going to deliver it to people and create some type of network? And I'm using this in this new type of economy we're in, or I think people are just more open. But even that distribution aspect, maybe we can have people who we have deliver with us and they'll deliver it straight to the customer and then they keep a certain percentage of it, right? Or the storage of it, that's also considered in the distribution aspect of it. Are there any warehouses here? And that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity that I've just fleshed out that quickly. Um, are there any opportunities to store these goods? Because we're gonna have to have warehousing. Why not own that warehouse? And also with owning a warehouse, you can bring on people who may not have the foresight now to see what we're doing. We can bring them on later after they see something like that. They say, okay, this makes sense, blah, 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 so that can also be looked at as a distribution group. So who's interested in that? And can they work together? How much money can be pulled together to finance it? And what I do and what we can do, once again, and be transparent, you lay out the costs. This is how much it's going to cost to do this and that. And then you bring those people together and they make it happen. Sales groups, we already talked about that. Finance groups. All right. Finance groups, what I mean by that, do we have specific lenders that we want to work with? They know what we're trying to do. They see the enthusiasm. Bringing those people in, because when we need things later, we're also going to want to have those types of relationships, right? But also on the ground type of financing. Can we garner enough support or find people who can go out and find this funding if there is no funding? Most people who are ready to invest, I think they pretty much know, or I won't say they know, but they know they're going to have to pay something. They may not know how much they're going to be paying to get something off the ground or to see some type of return, right? That's what I mean. So we can get groups of people together. Let's say we're doing $1 million project, but we know as soon as we get that $1 million, that we're guaranteed to have 1.5 million, right? Something like that. This is the type of thing people are looking for, or they want. That's 50%. So even lower than that, people are willing to invest if it makes sense and it seems as if it can do well. But we have a special advantage because we can simply decrease our costs. If we do this as a culture, we'll decrease our general costs. So if you create new options for people to purchase, or you flesh out new opportunities and roles, similar to what I mentioned about the palm wine, right? So if we began to drink palm wine versus regular wine or other types of alcohol, we began to funnel or carve out a new trade route, so to speak. So that's what this is also about, and changing that human behavior or our consumer behavior to say, okay, well, let's do this new thing. This is why we're doing this thing. And so another great example of that is, and remember, I'm speaking specifically about, the descendants of American chattel slaves and, economically, the precarious position we're sort of in. So when you look at other communities, I just want to point out a lot of those communities have things that they celebrate or things that they eat and do. That creates a natural demand when they move to a new country. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a product that's used, or even a seasoning or something like that, or a certain style of dress, and people, the only people who have those skills, or the only place that grows this herb is this place, that creates a demand when you're out of that place and you want to participate in these aspects of your culture. Interestingly, and I think about this from I guess an economic perspective, when Black people were brought to the United States, that was taken away. That the culture was taken away, right? So that natural demand that most groups come here with to create some type of not only bond back home, but also an opportunity to do business with someone from where they're from, that was taken away because we didn't have those same pressures to continue our culture. So we had no need to purchase this particular item that came from this country where we were from, so that we could perform, whatever social thing we were trying to do or perform, right? So I just want us to think about those things. But I'm going to be making more videos. Like I said, I'm trying to do more and do better on social media in general. So you guys stay with me, stick around, and I hope to talk to you soon. I'll see you guys probably next weekend. I upload all kinds of stuff, so y'all will be seeing my face, and hopefully I can stop being as camera shy and jump more into it and get into it a bit better. And also I can figure out this whole looking here and looking there and looking here and looking there situation. So until we talk again, peace. Talk to you later. Bye. So bye bye YouTube. You guys share, like, subscribe, and comment. I see we have one person here. So comment if anyone sees this video. Send me your thoughts.